What you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze. When these people talk too much, put that shit in slow motion. Yeah, I feel like an astronaut in the ocean. Ay, what you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze. When these people talk too much, put that shit in slow motion. Yeah, I feel like an astronaut in the ocean. She say that I'm cool. I'm like, yeah, that's true. I believe in G-O-D, don't believe in T-H-O-T. She keep playing me dumb, I'm a player for fun. Y'all don't really know my mental, let me give you the picture like stencil. Falling out in a drought, no flow rain wasn't pouring down. See that pain was all around, see my mode was kinda lounge. Didn't know which way to turn, flow was cool but I still felt burned. Energy up, you gon' feel my surge, I'ma kill everything like this purge. Let's just get this straight for a second, I'ma work. Even if I don't get paid for progression, I'ma get it. Everything that I do is electric, I'ma keep it in motion, keep it moving like kinetic. Put this shit in a frame, better know I don't blame everything that I say. Man, I seen you deflate, let me elevate this in a prank. Have you walking on a plane? La 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 la. Both dance together, God, let me pray. I've been going right.
Yo, it's the Bad Boy Chiller crew. Anti-fascist on this one. I can't switch on production. We don't know DVs around here much. Ghetto. I tell all the boys inside. Yo. Yo, I'm in that big boy night, so I hot the curtain. I see them boys in blue, so I drop the third. I put my foot down quick with a stopper shit. With a wicked shift like I play the strip. 4 boys suit up in a Charlie truck. Big boy lines in that naughty stuff. 4-wheel drive, go clive to the right lines to the side, right to the die. I ain't gonna lie, give me something, I'm down for it. Boys make a lot of money for them counterfeits. That's free for the bag, B's in the bank, G's in the cap, and keys for the jack. Few boys graft out, few boys sell nosing. 4x4s if the boys off-roading. For the police, I'm a driving ban. I'll be getting nice speeds with Clive and Sham. I'ma pull up on that big 450, pop it and twist it. Watch when it kicks it, cops are resisting, boys are resisting. Drop it and lift it, cars are my misfit. Red light, risk it, bitch I'm a chava. Big goose Parker, all black clava. All black towel, coming with a mask on. Coming for the lot, coming for the jackpot. I'ma pull up on that big 450, pop it and twist it. Watch when it kicks it, cops are resisting, boys are resisting. Drop it and lift it, cars are my misfit. Red light, risk it, bitch I'm a chava. Big goose Parker, all black clava. All black towel, coming with a mask on. Coming for the lot, coming for the jackpot. Yeah, it's SDO to the GG, laying some fire with the BBCC. Big boy tracks get black, big boy backs get racked. Blue lights flash, pedals flat, blacked out SVDSG man. PC plonker drives out my granddad. Let's go keep took car west sideways. I'm game for the graphics, gotta go my way. Shams not trying to get another card name, but I'm trying to put food on my family's plate. Always stay loyal and stay, putting that working, trying to get paid. I'm not lazy fam, I'm active sham. Kane and Clive, it's a mad team. All of the big G's dancing, fuel like how with them man I get right.
You alright? Where else are you going to hear the Bad Boy Chiller crew followed by the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra? Probably the radio, but also a live stream. Like, I need help. This is obviously not my main channel, so no, fucking, you underestimate the diversity of my iTunes library. believe there hasn't been a dance remix of that, you know. It's £1 million waiting to be made. Maybe that's what I need to do, yeah. I technically could be playing the radio, because you do have, there is a thing on Apple Music where you can play like and people can like listen to it when you're playing it, like, and it's just a random selection of your songs. No. Why anyone would bother, I don't know. When, if you've got Apple Music, you can get access to any song you'd want to hear anyway, so. But then you can listen to it at the same time I am, so it's like a bond, you know, a connection. I'm still seeing 0 likes here, Lars. Fucking pull your thumb out, son. Engagement, motherfucker. Seven people, that'll do, yeah. Hey, Sinestro. Of course, the annoying part now is I'm back on this channel. It means everyone I've blocked in the last year on the other channel is probably gonna. Yes, I had a video flagged on Brother Neuro, and I can't upload. Well, it's not a week now. It was 7 days, 2 days ago, so it's 5 days now. But I've had a productive day. I uploaded a video earlier on here, fucking long one and all. Recorded the audio for a video I've still got to make, and now I'm doing a live stream. I'd call that a pretty productive day. Did a bit of scratching, played a bit of guitar, did a bit of longboarding. Fairly sort of productive day. There are 10 people in here now. Some of you must be talking. Come on, say hello, you bastards. No, down to 9 now. Okay, bugger you then. You have to get up in 3 hours to go to work. You might as well not bother now then. Because the thing is, that's at that stage where, like, 3 hours to go, you might as well. Because if you go to sleep for 3 hours, you're going to wake up and you're going to feel worse than if you just stay awake. You know. Plus, I used to find when I used to go to work on no sleep, and I just went on autopilot. I just, like, you know, fucking. But you have those nights where you just like it ain't happening, you know. You're trapped now. Well, you're not trapped, really. I mean, you are here of your own accord. I haven't forced you here, you know. I'm not R. Kelly, right? You are free to leave, you know. that makes it, that's even more intriguing. Alcoholic kind of mood, lose my clothes, lose my luba, cruising for a piece of fun, looking out for number one, different partner every night, so narcotic, out of sight, what a gas, what a beautiful ass, and it all breaks down, the role reversal, got the muse in my head, it's universal, spinning me round, just coming over me, and it all breaks down, the first rehearsal, got the music in my head, it's universal, spinning me round, just coming over me. It is Nancy Boy, yeah, well done. I was technically in a placebo video because when they released Every Me, Every You, the soundtrack the footage was filmed at a concert in Brixton Academy that I was at, and because it was featured on the it was used in a film. What's that one with Sarah Michelle Gellar? What's it called? Cruel Intentions. So technically, I was in a music video with, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Yeah. If you can use that same logic, hello Panther. If you use that same logic, I was also technically in an Oasis video because there was a video they released that was filmed at a concert that I didn't even remember being at. I completely forgot I was at until a mate of mine reminded me a couple of years ago. I had no idea I went to see Oasis at Wembley Stadium. But I was also in another in a music video properly, which was the video to Robbie Williams' "She's the One," which is the one where he's ice skating. I was in the crowd. Most boring fucking day of my pissing life. But there you go. Yeah, well, no, it wasn't Hollywood glamour. It was that they wanted people. They used to use students for extras, which meant they could do it basically for like that. And they gave you 10 quid. It was basically a full fucking day. We were there. A coach from Kent to London, and they gave you you got a tenner, and they give you at lunchtime they gave you a plastic bag with an apple and a fucking sandwich in it. It was a fucking joke. It was basically slave labour, you know. I would say Grange Hill. I don't remember the episode of Grange Hill where they all were in a Robbie Williams video, but nothing to do with Robbie Williams. I'm sure he had no fucking, it was nothing to do with him, You did get to meet Robbie Williams, so that's exciting, isn't it? Well, who do you want to meet for it? Have you ever met Robbie Williams? You met anyone from Take That? Even Howard or Jason? No. You got to remember, this was the early 2000s. This is when Robbie Williams was at his peak, This is post Angels. Have have I been watching the Euros? I've been watching. You know, I pay it. Well, you know, it's interesting that even if I'm not following it religiously, but I mean, it's the fact that this one's become accidentally quite sort of engrossed in politics is sort of like me. It would be inadvertently I'll be talking about it anyway. But it's kind of fun. It's kind of funny watching. Being, you know, it's kind of funny at my age because I like, you know, I've grown up when just like, you know, football was just all these things associated with football, like, you know, that was just the way they were, you know, things like, you know, right, you know, footballers didn't really give a shit about stuff like that. In fact, it was, you know, but every day there's another little thing. It's like, you know, it's like Ronaldo, like Ronaldo pissed everyone off the other day because when he had his press conference, there were 2 Coca-Cola bottles on the table and he took them off, and he pissed everyone off because they said, you know, Coca-Cola's sponsoring this. Please don't take the Coke bottles off the table. And he was like, "Fuck you! I'm Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm the king of the fucking world, mate. I don't want a fucking Coca-Cola bottle, you know." There's another one today. There was a story today, like the entire Mexican national team have banned all of their fans for the next 2 games because they were all chanting homophobic chants. So they just went, "Fuck it, none of you can come." You know. It was very scary. I mean, it wasn't just the fact. You know what? It was the fact that it was scary. It's the fact that, you know, it was them replaying it over and over and over again. It's like, dude, this geezer might be dead. His family's probably watching this. You know, just we know what it's fucking. You know. He's the only. You know, this is a football tournament. This is soccer. He's not going to be the first geezer who falls down without being touched. You know, there are some players notorious for it, but this is a one that you got to take seriously. Don't give us an action replay of a geezer collapsing. They don't even do that in wrestling. You know. But he's all right. There was a joke going around about it that I sent to my dad, because my dad is which is that Christian Eriksen has been told that he probably won't be able to play top flight football, so he can probably get a move to Spurs. You know, so I sent that to my dad because he's a Tottenham fan. But I just the thing that about it's like with a lot of things. Like the thing that annoys me the most about football is football fans. They're just so fucking bipolar and fickle. You know what I mean? Like we won that first game 1-0, and everyone's marching up and down the street, going. It's coming out. Yesterday, what was it? It was a boring 0-0 draw. Nothing to get upset about. You know. And everyone's like, "Oh, it's shit! It's fucking rubbish!" I'm like, would you just fucking grow up? Could you have some? Is it impossible to be a fucking, you know? It's possible for you to enjoy this and be reasonable. But you know, I'm actually working on a video. I've been working on a video that's, you know, hopefully. If it's not this month, it'll be next month. But it's about a footballer. I'm doing a video. I'm doing a video about Justin Fashanu. John Fashanu's brother. If you're in here watching, fucking either chat or at least hit the like button, you bastards. Don't just sit there. Engagement, motherfucker. Yeah, I mean, so I mean, it's not the. I grew up. I mean, it's not the most. I remember watching the Hillsborough disaster live as it happened, and I remember watching on TV that fucking. Was it Bradford, the fucking the stadium that burned down? Fucking, you know, they showed you everything back then. This is fucking, they didn't give a shit. New Zealand, yeah. Well, I mean. Well, I mean, you know, New Zealand, you have like a form, you know, you have a form, you know, you have a form of football over there, but you play rugby and cricket, didn't you, mainly, you know. I would say that, yeah, but I mean, like, different countries go through different periods. I mean, like, I remember, like, you know, like, Australia, there was a time when, like, you know, Australia were just cricket and rugby, but then they had, you know, I'm a Leeds fan, but there was like there was like, you know, there was like 3 fucking Australian geezers. Honestly, there was Harry Kewell, Mark Viduka, you know. It's the same with American. Like there was like, you know, there's a period when there was barely any American, like, but you know, there's like there's loads of them now, you know. And you know, all our players, when they've been fucking, you know, when they've had enough, they all fuck off over to America to fucking, like Beckham and Wayne Rooney. It must be embarrassing when they turn up in their fucking Lamborghini, and all the guys turn up in their fucking, you know, second-hand Honda Civics. You know, there's Beckham in his gold-plated Bugatti Veyron, you know, parking up. Yeah. What do you miss? Not much, mate. I've been good, mate. I've been good. It's been all right. I had one of those moments though, because I've been sort of dipping in and out of football. I had one of those moments where I suddenly felt so old. It was when I found out Wayne Rooney is now the manager of Derby. I'm like, he's the manager. I'm like, he's only 14. Like, I remember when he was a 15-year-old coming on playing for Everton. He just fucking. He's got grey temples now. I like all. You know, what's my favourite fast food? I like all food, mate. I do like a good burger, but yeah. Wayne Rooney, no. Well, I mean, him and James, because James Milner fucking used to play for Leeds. Like, I remember James Milner played a game when he was 15. You know. Because we were that fucking, our squad was that fucking depleted. I like Taco Bell, actually. We don't have many Taco Bells. But last time I went to America, which granted was a long time, was 2010, it was 11 years ago. You know, I ate my fucking body weight in Taco Bell and IHOP. And we don't, you know, I don't think we have IHOP over here. I think there might be one. There was a brief period, I do remember looking it up, and there was only one Taco Bell in the entire country. Oh. Yeah, that's one thing you need in Glasgow, isn't it? In Scotland, is more junk food. It's You used to call me on your cell phone late night when you need my love. Call me on your cell phone late night when you need my love. And I know when that hotline bling, and that can only mean one thing. Yeah. I'm not a fan of chicken. I don't have chicken on pizza. And don't ask me about pineapple. I couldn't give a shit. I don't think, it's one of these arguments people pretend to get fucking excited about. American accent. I've done loads of American accents. Well, I've done impressions of Actually, I'm not. I try not to. I don't. I just, I don't tend to. I mean, calling it singing is very kind of you. Yeah, but Pyro, I can't upload a fucking Nazi. If I upload a video that's got Nazis or swastikas in it, it gets fucking flagged. YouTube's algorithm won't let me do it. This is why so many of my older videos, like, they're not on any of my channels, because they just won't fucking, I'd love to fucking, there's videos I've tried uploading that I just can't, I mean, why do you think I'm on, the reason I'm on this channel is because a video got flagged. And it weren't even a fucking video that was obvious. It was like, that video I did reading all of the old hate mail from Zalmir. That was what got flagged. It got flagged for hate speech. And I'm like, how can it be hate speech? I'm reading my own hate mail. Right? It's directed at me. I don't classify as a protected group or minority. And I appealed it and they said, we've watched your video and we have determined, like, no, you fucking haven't. Just don't fucking, I can still do the anti-Nazi stuff, I've just got to be careful, I mean, like, there was a period I had like 3 fucking videos that were like anti-Holocaust denial videos and they got taken down for hate speech. I'm like, how can a video debunking Holocaust denial classify as hate speech? Yeah, but it's not even that. I can handle the fact that the robots take it down. They don't know any better. They're just programmed to recognise words and symbols and react. But when you appeal it, and then YouTube tells you they've watched it, and then they tell you that this video that debunks Holocaust denial is hate speech. I'm like, you didn't watch. You cannot possibly have watched it. If you did, whoever watched it is the stupidest fucking person on planet Earth, or they're not. And it's a good job. YouTube should count themselves lucky that I'm not like a much bigger user. If I was someone who had like a fucking a million bloody subscribers, I could cause a lot of fucking bad publicity for them. Going, I'm a guy who makes video, anti-Nazi fucking. I debunk fucking, Nazi conspiracy theories, and my videos are being removed for hate speech. But the videos that I'm taking clips from, they're still up. It's not going to look good, is it? But then sometimes they do fucking put it back up. I've had a couple of times when they do, and it's like, and it's very difficult to make a video that, I mean technically the videos do contain hate speech, but to say that the videos are hate speech is ridiculous. Because how can I refute or debunk something without at first showing everybody, telling everybody what they're saying. You know. And I remember asking YouTube. I asked them that Twitter account, like, Team YouTube. I asked them. I said, like, I had a video taken down for hate speech, and I don't understand why it was. It's like, what's the definition? Is it like if your video just contains hate speech, regardless of how you present it, or regardless of whether or not is that the fucking standard, or is it to do with the actual context it's presented in? And they didn't answer. They asked me to fucking, and I mean, in a way, I mean, the thing is, when you look at how much stuff is uploaded to YouTube, it's very, I don't know, they have to automate it in some way, because it's probably impossible for them to hire enough people to watch the amount of content that's fucking flagged. If you have 1,000 hours of video uploaded every minute, if every one of them, No, I saw something with Jimmy. I'm not a fan of Jimmy Dore. I'm not a fan of the Young Turks either. So fucking, I couldn't give a shit. I don't like Jimmy Dore, and I don't dislike the Young Turks. I'm just not really I'm not bothered. I mean, I suppose the algorithm is there to help, because like if you've got to like flag a video, I presume in the old days the way it worked is someone would flag a video and you'd have to wait for someone to get round to it, for it to before they could do anything about it. So with the amount of content that could take fucking days or weeks. At which point, if someone uploaded some really fucking horrific video, and it's going to take them several days before they get round to it, because for all we know, I mean, let's say for argument's sake, you don't know, I mean, let's say every video is like that's uploaded is flagged by someone, Well, the 10 limit video, that didn't last very long though when I was, well, the 10 limit video wasn't original. The reason they brought that in is because people were uploading things like films and TV shows in full. And so they brought in the 10 limit time limit to fucking stop people doing that. But all that meant was that people uploaded a film in 10-minute sections, which meant instead of having one video that violated copyright, you had 12, And this was the days before like Content ID and stuff like that. And but as soon as you got like, that was only that wasn't for long, because I remember like it was 10 minutes when I started uploading, but like I became a partner like within a couple of months, and then that was and one of the sort of reasons, but that was back when you had partnerships. Do you remember that? That was a fucking. Do you remember that period? Do you remember having to apply for a partnership like it was a fucking job? Like you actually had to. You didn't just get. I didn't just go, here you go. Is no time limit and fucking adverts right away. You actually had to fucking. You had to spend like a good few months. You had to upload regular content. You had to have you had to have a certain amount of views. You had to have you had to. I mean, I remember filling in the application form for the partnership. It took about 30 minutes. It was like a fucking proper job application, and then you sent it off, and then it took about it took about like 2 weeks for them to get back for you. And if they got back to you and told you that you didn't qualify for partnership, you couldn't reapply for another 6 months. Yeah, there is something unusual. I do. I think, doesn't Hannibal Buress do a joke about? It does a joke about that, reading the comments on Pornhub videos. Well, it wasn't just that. It was loads of little things. It was like, it wasn't just that you got to monetize your videos. You got your time limit taken off. You got, you got things like you got to have your own. The channels were completely customizable. I mean, you could like literally change everything: the font, the colours, the background images. You could put links in the fucking banners. You could have your own fucking, your own little banner on your that was on your videos. It was loads of stuff. You could spend fucking you could spend like days working on that. But there's no like now it's just you've got to get in there and that's quite a weird thing. When was the last time they changed the fucking format? Because the way the channels look now, they've looked like that for years now, haven't they? It used to be they changed it quite regularly. I remember there was like and every time they changed it, there'd be no fucking point. I'm not saying they shouldn't. I'm just saying that was one of the sort of motivations back then, But I mean, I wouldn't want to. I mean, I say that when I meet people who want to start again, I mean, I don't envy them starting now. It's so, because I'm like, well, the first thing you got to remember, you got to consider is that whatever sort of videos you want to make, there's already 100 other channels doing it, So you've got to fucking really, you've really got to fucking work hard to figure out, to find a way. You do, and you see little trends pop up occasionally, like like recently in the last like year or so, I'm not saying they shouldn't. I'm just saying that, but that's different now because now YouTube is not what it was back then. Back then, that made sense, But I mean, you can't really customize. I mean, apart from the banner, apart from your channel name, and you can't really customize it. Anything other than just arranging bit. It's not like not like we could do back in like 08, 09 when like everything was customizable. I mean, like the entire fucking. But people make people make it big. Some people have it's like in the last year there's been a huge surge in and I've got into these channels that like do what's its name analyze police interrogation videos, like the one that sort of started it was Jim Can't Swim, but now there's like 50 of them. And and it's a bloody good, and it's a good, and when you watch it, it's a bloody good racket actually, because it requires each video is about an hour bloody long, and because the interrogations go on for that long, but literally there's like 60 minutes of the interrogation, there's like 5 minutes of fucking commentary. But I do that. I go through little binges on. I've been through a couple. I went through a couple of weeks just binge watching police interrogation videos. Then I went through then I got obsessed with that iceberg meme, and there's people who make videos on them, and then I got. And over the last, Jim can't swim. Yeah, last week I got fucking. I don't know why I got into this rabbit hole of fucking of shipwrecks. I have this particular hatred of like cruise liners but they fucking I don't know why people go on them, and so watching like those videos of fucking boats and in massive waves and these fucking cruise liners fucking going, and I ended up watching loads of stuff about the Titanic, and there's this channel that there was this video I found that was a really like sort of like 7-minute animation that like broke down like the Titanic sinking. But then I went on YouTube and I found the original, and the original is the real time sinking of it's 2 hours 40 minutes, and it's one of those things like it doesn't sound interesting watching a ship sink, an animated ship sink for fucking 3 hours, but I was fucking engrossed by it. Yeah, it's a good film, I don't know. I mean, there's loads of true. I mean, true crime is one of those fucking. It's the thing. The problem with true crime as a genre is there's a lot of shit. True crime podcasts and channels out there, because true crime is a really easy fucking thing to blag, because all you got to do. I mean, you could literally just fucking look one up and read the Wikipedia page, and all you've got to do is record audio on it and stuff. But so you've really got to search to find some good ones. I've been down the train spotting rabbit hole. I've been down bushcraft. Those geezers who go out into the fucking woods with a sheet of tarpaulin and a knife and fucking just and live for 3 days. I've binge watched on them before. Van life. I've got sucked into that one. I mean, that's the thing. But that's the thing. It's like this is what I think. That's like, I think one thing YouTubers like, one of the like few areas of video making where like YouTube, that YouTubers have shown, great sort of have actually raised the game for everyone else is in documentary making, because there's been so many great documentaries in the last few years. I've seen people who go stealth camping. There's that geezer I was watching recently. That guy who tries to walk. He does loads of different things, but his thing was he tries to walk across countries in a straight line. He tried walking across Norway. I think he walked across Norway in a straight line. He tried walking across Wales and failed, and he recently just failed to walk across Scotland. But it's such a cool idea, you know what I mean? It's like it's just a simple fucking idea, Yeah, I listen to loads of them though. I mean, there's so many podcasts. There's so many fucking these things I fucking listen to, Human Monsters is the most sort of like is the best one I've found. Just because of how graphic and in depth it is. Like, I mean, I listened to two of his podcasts, and it took me about 10 hours. They were over 5 hours each. You're getting your fucking money's worth. You know what I mean? Russia would probably be a lot easier because a lot of Russia's got fuck all in it, but it would just take you a fucking 6 months. That's a bit much. Well, it's meant to be a bit much. I mean, that's the thing. It's they're not all that long. Some of them are like half hour, 45 minutes, but you know. One of them that was particularly hard. I think it was like 4.5 hour, fucking like recount of like Paul Bernardo, who was a geezer I'd never heard of, but he's introduced on the podcast as the most hated man in Canada, and I'm like, wow, is that just a name? And I'm like, and just by the end of it, I'm just like, oh god, the things I would do to this geezer if I fucking had I want a Samoan geezer in golf shoes to stand on his nuts for a week. I'd watch it on pay-per-view. Just fucking yeah. But it doesn't really matter whether he succeeds or fails. I mean, it's like, it's interesting to watch. It's an interesting. It's like that's what I mean. I like, that's where the best sort of content comes from. It's just someone has one simple idea. It's a very simple idea, but it's like, walking across a country in a straight line. Can you do it? No, he's not a scumbag. I mean, a scumbag is like, I know people who are scumbags. I'm on some level a scumbag. Paul Bernardo's a fucking. He's oh god. The black dolphin. You mean blackfish? The one about the documentary about that was fuck. It's a good documentary, but I mean it's hard to. I mean it isn't easy to watch. Particularly if you're someone who has if you have a particular love of animals. It's but then it's one of those ones that has a positive, like, the following Blackfish came out, and the following year SeaWorld's profits plummeted by 84%. And they just put so much, and they would try so hard to fucking just well, I didn't want to go to I went to SeaWorld when I was younger, but I was a kid, I didn't know any better, I would have been there. I was there cheering at the end when that fucking woman got her head fucking ripped off. I was like, I'd have been there standing going, yes, does this happen? Can I come back for the 4 p.m. show? Does this happen every time? Huh? I'll fucking watch it, the trainers. They're not trainers. You're not training anything. You're just annoying a fish. That's all you're doing. You ain't training shit, I mean, there's loads on it. I mean, I've got to do, I'm going to be doing one for. It's going to be a Patreon exclusive one, but I've got to do I've been meaning to do it for ages, which is a sort of live watch along commentary, watching several the Netflix. I want to do the Fire Festival one. I want to do that. Abducted in Plain Sight. Watch that. That is fucking. Oh my god! I've been meaning for years to do Surviving R. Kelly, since that fucking. I've got to do one about. I want to do the best one. I mean, by far the best documentary I've seen. It might actually. I'll say it's the best documentary possibly I've ever seen, and everyone should look it up. It's not on Netflix or anything, but it's called Tickled. That is just it's proper edge of your seat fucking stuff. You are just it like starts right away, and it's like whatever you think it's gonna be, it's not. It's something completely. It's completely different. hold on. Let me find the trailer for. I'm going to take a risk here in the hope that I can. In the hope that I can play this with. Oh, Dear Zachary is something else. I mean, that's just. I mean, I don't know anybody who wasn't broken by Dear Zachary. Everybody who when I tell people go watch it, and I tell them don't look it up, don't watch the trailer, don't go look, just fucking watch it. And everyone comes back going, "Oh my god, I'm just fucking scarred for life watching this." Oh god, you know. I mean, it is brutal, you know. Yeah, I've seen those ones. Yeah. Hold on. Let me just. Okay, this is the trailer for. For Tickled. Here we go.
I can't say I've ever interviewed anyone that looks like you before.
Really?
I've made a career out of looking at the weird and bizarre side of life.
It's quite a kick.
So when I discovered a strange video online, I knew I'd found my next story.
CET, Competitive Endurance Tickling Group we got here.
Competitive endurance tickling. It was one of the strangest sports I'd seen. So I told Jane O'Brien Media I'd like to do an interview. Instead of getting a yes or no, I got this.
Association with a homosexual journalist is not something we will embrace. Shame on you. Little gay Kiwis. Regards, Jane O'Brien Media.
It was hard to take the insult seriously, considering the sport did seem slightly gay. This tickling wormhole was getting deeper.
I mean, obviously it's just for fun.
Is it just for fun? It's tickling.
You know, I was young at the time, didn't think nothing of it. I was like, $2,000, that's gonna be cool.
I mean, imagine being a teenage boy. She would just keep sending them whatever they wanted.
She offered my one buddy a Chevy Cruze and $30,000. The money's endless.
This tickling empire is way bigger than we ever imagined.
They have tickle cells all over the U.S. They're everywhere.
And at some point, these boys say, I'm done. The thing that she hates the most was no. It was like a bomb went off.
Your phone number and your personal information are entirely known and subject to publication on the internet.
All hell broke loose.
And all of a sudden, these videos are on YouTube, Vimeo, and every other site you could imagine.
Sending emails to the high school that I coach at.
What do you think your mother's gonna think about this?
We're shooting a documentary.
I understand what you think you're doing.
If you want to stick your head in the blast first, do it.
Jane O'Brien's a ghost.
Okay, let's go. I'm breathing heavily.
Yes, Sam.
We could hear laughter coming out of the vents. We've been spotted.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
It's amazing. It's not just think you can't be real. You just think this is going to be this is going to be silly, and then it becomes silly, and then it becomes serious, and then it becomes weird, and then it's like a sort of, then it's like a fucking, and then it's one of the, I always prefer documentaries like because it's a documentary that was made, like, it's not a documentary that's made in retrospect. It's made as it happens, and it's a documentary that, you know, that wasn't meant to be oh god, it says here my stream may be blocked. We have detected copyrighted audio and video. Fucking hell. I can't even play a trailer for a video. You can't do fuck all anymore, you know. Am I still coming through? It says it may be temporarily blocked. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully it wasn't. Okay. Okay, I guess maybe it's fine, yeah. Oh well. No, I wouldn't say Gary Light. It's not that weird. It's actually what? Let's see. It's back now. It's okay. I got away with it. I'll tell you what. There's a documentary. Let me see if I can find it. On it's like it's not a mainstream documentary, but I can't remember how I found it. It was years ago, but it's a and it's really cheaply made. It's just one geezer with a camera. And I'll have to be careful because there are bits in it that if it is still up here. No, it is still up here. Okay. Complete the brief check to show that you're old enough to watch this video. Yeah. I'm not showing you ID, you fucking narc. Hold on. Okay, I'll find a copy of it elsewhere. Hold on. Let me... see if I can find a fucking... What is this one? Fucking verify my age, for Christ's sake. Look at my fucking gnarled, haggard face. Ah. Oh, piss off. Nope. Thing is, I've got a copy of it somewhere. Yeah. Motherfucker. That's a good point. Can I fucking download it? Hold on. I've got a... Yeah. You know, it's downloading. It'll be a minute. Well, you know what? If you're gonna be hung for a sheep as a, might as well be hung for a sheep as a lamb. So fuck it. Hold on. Right. Let me. Right. So I'm gonna. Let me just. Yeah, just to give you a bit more space there. Right, and there's gonna. I know, I've seen this loads of times, so I know. But there's gonna be a moment when I need to move the little box that I'm in to cover up fucking part of the screen. Right, you're ready? If you hit live, it will go back. You know, if you hit live, it will. You know, it should take you back up to where I am. Right. So you know, are we ready? Are we ready? And yeah, this is a document. It's called "How to Start a Sex Cult," and it is whatever you think it's going to be. Again, it's not. It ain't.
You can call me as many liars as you want, right? You can say what the fuck to me you like, but when you talk to her, you do with respect. Get the fuck out of my house. Get the fuck out of my house. Out!
You can just smell the Cheetos and wet dog on that guy, can't you?
Do this, John.
Do what? Let's just talk.
Just call my slave a liar.
No, I didn't call your slave a
I
liar.
swear to God, get out of the house.
Okay, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
This is Lee Thompson. Lee claims he's a leading member of the Chaotians, a hitherto unheard of cult with thousands of followers worldwide. He hit the headlines in May 2006 when police raided his Darlington home. They'd received a tip-off that Lee was holding a Canadian woman as a sex slave, but no charges were brought and the woman went home. Now the cult leader's preparing to get a new slave. Angel.
Imagine leaving
Australia.
Canada for
See you. I fucking hate you. You specifically. You.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Hold on. I can't do it. I can't play it because YouTube has, again, they said, you know, they detect that it comes up as copyrighted. So I can't do that, for fuck's sake. I will find, yeah, I'll find a way to play something. But yeah, look that up. Yeah. I can't really do... I can't... Yeah. I'm glad you can do it in your own time. Doesn't really help me out, though, does it? You know. We can watch... Okay, so from what I can gather, I can... You know, I can play copyrighted content, but only if I play it for a minute at a time. Child sex tourism in Asia. Well, whatever happened to you, James 1978? Is he in that? This is weird. This never happened on the Brother Neuro. I don't remember this happening on Brother Neuro channel. This happened on. It happens on this channel. It's happened once or twice. Yeah. Trying to think. What can we do? Now, I don't think that's a little bit fucking egomaniacal to have it in for the channel. No, I don't think so, mate. I don't think YouTube care that much. Yeah, but why wouldn't it detect it on the other channel? It might just be, you know. Guys, you really are reading far too much into this. You know, it's if you think I'm the only person this is happening to, it's quite obviously not. So, yeah. That's just the that's just the filter, the settings on the camera. Ben Shapiro breaks down the N-word. I'd rather not. There was a very funny article written about that fucking GB News channel. And how fucking dreadful it was. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. I mean, it sounds as bad as I thought it was going to be. Yeah, it would actually be, you know. Where is it? There's a moment during the first Monday night of GB News' programming when its chairman and former BBC broadcaster Andrew Neil found himself staring into the abyss. The abyss's name was Dan Wooten, and the abyss is very pleased with himself. He's cheerfully telling Neil about his fact-free lockdown scepticism, and Neil, who is still wedded to logic, looks worried that his career is burning in a clown car. The Grinning Abyss has a 3-hour programme every night, straight after Neil's, and this is the best description of Nigel Farage I've ever heard, featuring nihilistic information vacuums like Nigel Farage and Rod Liddell. I believe it's called Stare into the Abyss for 3 hours, and it does what it says on the tin. Wooten's show is probably the most distilled version of what this new channel promises to be. GB News has been designed as a sort of Fox News UK. It's there, by its own account, to shake off the shackles of both the BBC's allegedly woke echo chamber and also actual reporting, which I think you'll agree amplifies reality's left-wing bias. The people at GB News love the Union Jack so much they've dismembered one and made it a sort of tortured, glitchy, cubist logo. It's a logo that really makes a statement, and that statement is, I am in great pain. The people at GB News hate elitist experts so much they've apparently chosen not to hire any technicians. Clips don't play, or the wrong clips play. Guests are inaudible or bathed in echo, sounding suspiciously like they're in a chamber. All of the presenters have developed a strained grimace for when things fail. Yes, they mightn't do journalism, but they have perfected gurnalism. The people at GB News love Britain so much they're not going to trouble it with much actual reporting, dispatching bubbly reporters to talk to randoms and expecting viewers to email in their views. Mike Smith, quote, Mike Smith has been in touch to say I don't smile enough, says the Brexit Party candidate turned presenter Michelle Dewsbury, giving just a sample of the type of content acquired in this manner. Over the course of each day, viewers are bombarded with questions. Would you vaccinate your child against COVID? Should ISIS bride Shamima Begum be let back into Britain? Are killer bees brainwashing our children? Okay, that last one was mine. You could spend the whole day shouting yes and no at GB News, which is clearly a lot of people's idea of a good time. Though not as opinionated as Wooten, the daytime presenters cover wedge issues in the culture war. Footballers taking the knee, immigrants crossing the channel, Tory councillors forced to remove a Union Jack bunting, while also oohing and ohing about life-saving dogs and new cafes opening in northern suburbs. GB News is basically a beacon of positivity about Britain that's simultaneously deeply suspicious about fellow Britons who think they want to vaccinate them against their will and teach them French. My favourite bits are the weather reports because they're the only segments without technical problems. My nerves are shattered, and the contributions from the adorable child reporter Tom Harwood, whom older presenters can barely resist popping on their laps and saying, "Now there, sonny lads, tell us about the Australia trade deal, and I'll give you a hoop and a stick." Based on the daytime schedule, it feels like GB News is fighting its war on woke very cunningly. I mean, after watching it, I don't feel very woke at all. I feel quite sleepy. Things perk up with Andrew Neil, who is now orange, has a segment of it on his show called Woke Watch, featuring an aggrieved white man named Andrew Doyle, grumpily lamenting, for example, that the National Trust has created signs acknowledging that some properties were funded by the slave trade. While Doyle generously accepts that a history of structural racism is a terrible thing, he also finds reading about it at a stately home annoying. Yes, millions have been traumatised by centuries of racism, but Doyle is mildly irritated by having to read a sign when on a day trip. So if you think about it, that evens it out. For the most part, Neil has an actual news show where he grills guests such as the UK Chancellor Rishi Sunak about real issues. Neil is just rebelling against a perceived left-wing bias in the BBC, but his colleague, The Abyss, appears to be rebelling against actual news values. On Dan Wooten's Monday show, a member of the British public calls to ask Roger Daltrey of The Who about government pandemic policy. Seriously. For a moment, I think a researcher, probably the person who does the sound, was asked to book someone from the WHO. Then I remember that Daltrey is a Brexit voting curmudgeon and it makes sense. WHO, the Who, so I just got that. Who knows what's going to happen next? As Wooten keeps reminding us, GB News isn't like the fuddy-duddy BBC with its rules, so when Rod Liddle comes on to protest footballers taking a knee against racism, he's smoking a cigarette. He's smoking a cigarette! When Lady Colin Campbell turns up to lambast Meghan Markle and quibble about whether Jeffrey Epstein was a paedophile or a hebephile, actually it's hebephile, she has a dog on her lap. When the anti-woke actor Lawrence Fox inevitably appears, I think he'll surely be naked from the waist down and in clown makeup. When Fox does turn up, it was inevitable. He's actually wearing a suit and calling lockdown child abuse. Is it bankrolled by the... I don't think so, mate. I think you're overestimating the, Sargon and the Quartering's influence. Why would the Quartering... Has that guy ever fucking said anything? My only experience... I've never watched any of his videos. My only experience with the Quartering is on Twitter, where literally everything he's ever said is just fucking... Yeah, apparently not. Well, I mean, let's read some pointless letters sent in by gammons to the newspapers. People should... This is from Paul in North Yorkshire. People should learn from history, not condemn it. I am really offended by the taking of the knee and the Black Power salute. When have you seen a Black Power salute? All lives matter, but I am not allowed to show my feelings as I am a white Englishman. You are literally doing it now. Our history is condemned by the wokes. But Britain is a great country and has led to... You do know, right? This is what annoys me. Is people who fucking... People who don't realise what... Great Britain. You know, like in Manchester, there's Greater Manchester, right? It's not called that because it's greater, or it's a greater version of Manchester, because that's not too difficult, right? It means it's the same with Britain. It's not called Great Britain because we thought, hey, let's call it great. It's not like let's put an adjective at the front of our country, like, you know, like this is excellent Guam, or whatever. It doesn't mean great in that fucking, you know. We are under attack from minority groups which have their own agenda. But we are proud of our history, and people should... Really? You're proud of it? Why? This is from Terence in Upminster. I think... taking the knee is both political and divisive. I suppose the woke brigade will try and cancel me and anyone who disagrees with them. But any foreign national who disrespects our Queen or our country should be booted out. Oh yeah, taking the knee is politically divisive, but if you look at the Queen funny, you so much as glance in Her Majesty's direction and like you're out. This is from Stan in Essex. So, England football manager Gareth Southgate and studio TV pundits say the booing of England players taking the knee was disappointing and disrespectful. Just what do they expect? Well, clearly the opposite, I guess. Whatever explanations are given, taking the knee will be forever linked to Black Lives Matter. Yes, that's it, from now on till the end of time. An organisation that sprayed graffiti onto... No, they didn't spray graffiti on Winston Churchill's statue. Everybody thought they were going to, but they didn't. It was actually one of the fucking dopey cunts who went there to stop them. Who fucking... Or it was some Man City fan, wasn't it? So that's a lie right there. Racism is not acceptable in any shape or form. Who wants to guess what the next word is? Begins with a B and ends in ut. But people will understandably and naturally react to having their noses rubbed in diversity. Having their noses rubbed in diversity. These are ludicrous fucking expressions. It's diversity is forced down our throat. It's shoved in our face. It's rubbed in our... It's not. Well, so you're okay with diversity as long as everyone hides from you? You're not allowed to have an opinion. You're literally fucking expressing it now! You clearly are! These people are fucking... What is wrong with these people? I just want to fucking stamp on their face for a full half an hour. Correct me if I'm wrong. Have there not been instances in recent years at football matches, you know, national or international, where there have been minute silence and players have wore black bands for victims of terrorist attacks. Why was no one complaining about politics getting involved in football then? Because whether you like it or not, taking a stand against ISIS is a political position. I'm just saying. This is from a Mr. Pullman in North Yorkshire. This guy is, you know, dealing with the real issues. Okay, then what you need to do, Blue Guys, you need to go and complain about the fact that there is literally a minister for sport in the government. Yes, but I don't care what you think or not, mate. It doesn't matter whether you think it should be. It isn't. It is intrinsically linked to politics, whether you like. Nothing is detached from politics. There has been a minister for sport in every government since fucking God knows when. Have you, where have people been complaining about, saying get rid of that? Do you know why there's a minister for sport? Because politics affects sport. And it doesn't matter whether you think it should or not. It's no one's concern. Yeah. This is a great one. This is from Diana in Buckinghamshire. My nickname at school was Hammy Hamster after my middle name Hamilton, but I would be mortified if any grandchildren of mine were called Hammy Hamster. That's it. That's literally it. That's oh, she wrote that down and sent that in. It's the story of the Brexit campaigner defiant after vandals defaced his vote leave sign. It said vote leave and someone changed it, spray painted it to vote beaver. And he went, no, I'm not taking it down. It said cock piss partridge. See, this is the kind of nutter. This is why This is why COVID is gonna kill us all. The virus mutation proves we will defeat COVID soon. Hear him out. When a virus is losing its battle, to take over a host, it usually tries to strengthen itself by producing different strains to survive. Hashtag science. Yeah. In our case, with COVID-19, this is a reason to rejoice. It's on the run. And any new strain will be weaker than the original. No! No! That's the fucking... you stupid fucking bastard! God, you imagine how fucking excited that guy was when he found out about AIDS. No, I added the hashtag science. I was being sarcastic. Yeah. Recently, the soap operas on TV have become unwatchable. Become? What sort of example are they setting for younger viewers? Listen, mate, it took until the mid 2000s for Coronation Street to fucking recognise that Asian people existed. For fuck's sake. Emmerdale and Coronation Street are going down the same gloomy street as EastEnders, which I stopped watching ages ago. Did you see Emmerdale Farm last night? It's not called Emmerdale Farm. It's just called Emmerdale now. Saves them time, you know. Got more time to pack a lot more story in. Yeah. Marking the number of calories in alcohol is like everything else, woke and useless. It's not woke. What the hell do you mean woke? Has anyone? You've always had how many calories are in a fucking or in the food you drink you buy. You fucking you turnip-faced fucking pillock. I mean, this is a bit. They think that fucking calories. They've seen something. They say he's never seen it, but they put the number of calories they're in. You know, which might be useful if, say, you're on a diet. The people who need to pay attention pay none to existing labelling showing alcohol levels. Well, because maybe that's what they want to... Maybe they want to have an alcohol... This is why you have things like tonic and then you have slimline tonic. Yeah. One is slightly better for you. You might still want a gin and tonic. It's been 40 years since Bob Marley died. He was one of the great songwriters, and the Wailers' sound of reggae rock fusion was unique. Bob was a man of the people. I wonder what he'd think if he knew his music was being used to sell washing up liquid. This is from Den in Lancashire. Kids should learn that life isn't fair and deal with it. A great swathe of British youth has come to the earth-shattering conclusion that life is unfair. Maturity confirms that the more you experience life's ups and downs, the more this fact becomes clear. Yeah, and some people, Den, think that that's wrong. Many experience discrimination by the bucket load, but we don't lash out. We cope with it, make the best use of what we have, and don't expect others to solve our problems. Yeah, and what we're saying, Den, is you don't have to do that, my friend. If we all get on the same page... You must have missed the ad for washing up liquid. Oh, it was a belter. Which, oh, mate, you missed a corker. God bloody hell, this is a long one. While watching the latest Star Wars film with my grandson over the holidays, it occurred to me that there are many similarities between the world depicted in the film and the world we live in today. This soppy old duffer has just fucking realised that Star Wars is allegorical. This was a headline in the Sunday Times, genuine headline. Boris Johnson is said to have personally fingered Dominic Cummings over the leaks. Phrasing! While watching the James Bond movie Live and Let Die, several times during the film, black actors referred to Roger Moore's 007 in racist terms. I'm sorry, I must have missed that bit. Where Roger Moore gets called a honky. The word was not deleted or bleeped out. What word was it? Once again, racism is a one-way street. You'll notice that they were the bad guys, weren't they? And I bet Bond probably killed them. But so, what does it matter? Can we get off this politically correct bandwagon and start treating everybody the same? I want to use the N-word on... I want Roger Moore to go... F you, N-word, you know... I want him to use the N-word, the C-word, the J-word. I want him to use every fucking racial slur for black people going back to the 1700s. Whilst eating a Robertson's marmalade sandwich. You know. Stopped getting Bond wrong! You know, I hope Roger Moore got over it. You know. And it was so traumatic, this geezer didn't even notice. How old is Live and Let Die? Fucking Roger Moore. What are we talking? 40 years? Does he still pull mad snatch? Roger Moore? Oh, you know it, mate. Hold on, I'm just going to make myself some dinner because I'm hungry. Carry on, don't worry. Never mind me. Timothy Dalton was the best Bond. See, Spiker, that's just what I'd expect you to say. I'd have put money on you saying that. You know why? Because you're clinically fucking insane. That's why. And I'd expect Lewis to agree with him. Yeah. Which I bet he just did. When he has a wank, I don't know. Do you think when Uri Geller's having a wank he can maintain an erection? These are the questions that science has not yet fucking given us a conclusive answer to. I mean, what kind of shit fucking, like, magical power is that? What can you do? Bend spoons? That's fucking useful, isn't it? And those of you should know the answer to this one. Who was the first Bond? I have shared this piece of little known smart ass trivia before. Bob Holness. Well done, John. Bob Holness was the first James Bond in South Africa, where James Bond was a radio player. No, he debunked him, but it didn't make a difference, did it? I mean, it's a lot of good it fucking did him. He wrote a book about him, and it wasn't. James Randi didn't debunk him on the Johnny Carson show. Johnny Carson, and he didn't really debunk him. He just made him look silly. Hold on. Hold on, we'll watch that in a bit. One second. Lovely. Curry. Chicken curry, mushroom, done. What am I eating? Mushroom, rice with a tin of chicken curry. Like an absolute gangster. Now, I wonder if this must be... I must be able to watch this, because it's a fucking... It's a well old video. Yeah, 65p bag of fucking microwavable rice. £1 tin of chicken curry.
Now, I want you to watch this segment with equal interest. This is from RAI, which is the radio diffusion something or other in Italy. There's RAI 1, 2, and 3. I think this is RAI 3 in Italy. It's their big network there. And it was done in a studio the size of what they call it Noah's Ark, the studio. And it's a huge, huge studio, like a football stadium. And all cameras are concealed, and there are no monitors. Now, in an ordinary television studio, you will see several cameras. One will have a tally light, a red light on it. You know that's the one that's active, and you can see monitors spread around, so you can see what is being recorded at that moment. Now, in this studio, you never see a monitor.
You could go for a camera.
They're in
And why wouldn't you?
holes in the wall with very big, fat, long lenses with stable cam things on them, gyroscopes, and to keep them steady. You never know where the camera is coming from, and you don't see a monitor. Geller was really afraid of that kind of system, as I would be under those circumstances. I want to see what's happening. I want to know what's on that screen at that moment. He couldn't see. You're going to see him bend a key. And the moment of truth will be there.
Fucking child bender.
See if
Pudding bender, more like.
These are not my keys.
Queste non sono le mie chiavi.
The geezer doing the fucking Italian dubbing on this is just not in a good mood.
Hold the keys like this.
Tu tenete le chiavi in questo modo. Tenetele in questo modo. Tutte. Posso
Tutte.
alzarmi?
Now, with your mind,
Con la vostra mente
say bend.
dite piegatevi.
Piegati.
Bend.
Piegatevi nella mente.
Piegati.
Yes, it's beginning.
Sta iniziando.
See, look,
He's just not into it, is he?
Sta iniziando a piegarsi, a incurvarsi verso l'alto.
bend,
Piegati.
bend,
Piegati.
bend.
Giggity.
Stop, look.
Giggity.
Adesso guardate.
And this is not my key.
Questa non è una
Somebody,
mia chiave.
the cameraman,
Mi sembra la
No.
chiave del cameraman.
at home,
A casa,
check your keys.
controllate le vostre chiavi.
Maybe
Check your
your
keys.
key bend.
Forse anche la vostra chiave si è piegata.
Check your key. Maybe someone
Forse anche qui
here.
nel pubblico la chiave
cigarette
di qualcuno si è
Check
piegata.
one by one.
Controllatele una per una.
I'm just curious if anyone's bent even a little.
E se qualcuno si è piegata anche
No
poco,
one ever did they?
anche poco, ditelo.
This is not my key.
Questa non erano mie
It's
queste
impossible
chiavi
to bend it.
ed è impossibile.
You want some geezer to go, you bent my fucking house key, how am I going to get in? How am I going to start a fucking car? What you done, you stupid fucking Jewish bastard?
It's impossible to
Ripeto, con la forza fisica non si riesce a piegarle.
Did it right then. See?
Did you catch it? All right, roll back just a tiny bit if you can, Jim. You will see him do it twice, right on camera, right in front of you. Bingo. Bingo. That's it. It's that simple. He does it
It
right.
is quite
smack-
incredible when you think about
can't bend these keys as he bends them. It's that simple, folks. It's not more complicated.
Because I remember when I was a
than
kid,
that.
like,
That's
people
what he
genuinely,
gets
it
away
was
with.
just taken as read that Uri Geller was legit.
Oh
you know.
my God! Here, play it. Now, but look very hold it. Look very carefully here. Look at the angle of the key. It's already bent in his hand, okay? Look at the angle. Try to fix that in your mind, that actual angle of the key, and watch what he does. All he does is hinge it up like that. It's the same degree of bend that you'll see 30 seconds from now. Go ahead. You can see the bend in it. All he's doing is turning the yellow handle up more and more. At
Maybe you
levels
rub
of
it
the
hard
rest
enough,
of the
and-
key points at the sky. And this idiot is rubbing himself silly here.
Some geezer masturbating his brains off in the back seat.
That's how simple it is. It's never any more complicated than that. This next cut now is from Switzerland, from Zurich, from some years back. Geller is much younger at this point, and this particular segment shows him bending a ladle. Now, when
Bending
you
a
see
ladle.
this,
Wow.
You're not going to solve much of it. Your eyes are really keen, and with this tape,
Is there
I
any
don't think you'll be able
circumstance
to see or this
in the
picture,
fucking
but
in your life that you can think
one
of
of the things that is on here, but
where
we'll
a
give it
bent
try.
ladle,
As soon as it's over, I'll
where
explain
that
to
you know
another
you would need a
fact
geezer.
about it.
If I knew we had
So
someone
we
here
have
who
no
could
way of knowing
bend
by
a
watching the
ladle,
program. Let's see it.
I wouldn't mind. But everything he does bend, you can just bend by doing that.
Much better than just
Like it's all well and good being able to sit there for 4 hours rubbing a spoon until it fucking droops like that. But it's like, just give it here, you fucking wanker, and just do that.
Oh, good. Well, I'll try this. This looks nice. All right.
Also er sagt, dass persönliche Gegenstände in der Regel sich eher verbiegen als ganz unpersönliche, wie eben zum Beispiel ein solcher Nagel.
Is she known here in the
Yeah.
Is she known here? Who is this bitch? This was entertainment. Sitting up on a Saturday night, watching some Israeli geezer stroke a ladle for 4 hours. This was entertainment.
Do you feel something?
I remember watching David Copperfield make the Statue of Liberty disappear. Well, he says he did.
Very good shot.
Still there, though. Talking out of his arse.
Er sagt, dass es eine sehr gute Aufnahme sei mit der Kamera.
And I'm saying bend in my head all the
Und
time.
er denkt, biege,
Bend.
biege, biege.
Bender.
Yes?
No, but go on.
Yeah, he never bends anything that's fucking difficult to bend. You know. Bend a Hummer. Hmm? Bend a tank turret.
Then there's no way to bend it just by stroking it like this. with
No, I'll tell you
force.
what, the
It's very gentle.
David Copperfield trick I was genuinely amazed by as a kid was when he saw himself in art.
Kraft anwendet, sondern dass
You don't go to
er
parties,
die
Lewis.
Biegung, die Veränderung nur
A bit harder.
durch Berührung erreichen will.
Hold it, hold it.
I'm 12 and what is this? Wow, that's like what, 10 years old now. Why don't you rickroll us while you're out?
And I feel for this so good. I feel something, but
I feel something.
Könnte es ein Material sein, das sich nicht eignet?
what is it?
Could it be a kind of material?
No, every metal bends. It doesn't matter what it is made out of.
Er sagt also, alles Metall.
But it's made out of metal. What do you mean? Hold on.
Keine Rolle.
Can we just dissect that bollocks? Every metal bends. It doesn't matter what it's made out of. It's made out of metal, you fucking idiot. The clue's in the name. It's gonna be made out of fucking plywood, is it, you stupid twat?
1 minute. I think it's moving already a little. Yes, yes, it's moving. Yes, it's moving. It's moving.
Imagine him giving a massage to someone who's got a fake hip.
Oh, come on. Who's...
Yeah, but he says every metal bends. It doesn't matter what it's made out of. It's made out of metal.
It's, you see, I feel here, you see? It's becoming more plastic. Yes, yes.
Er sagt,
So it's
dass
plastic.
es
He admits it right
fühlt
there.
sich jetzt fast an wie
Not it.
Plastik.
And there's no heat. You feel it really?
It's not hot.
Spüren
There
Sie
is
das
no
jetzt?
fucking heat here.
Nein, kein.
Put your finger also here, please. And
Put
you'll
your
see
finger
there is
here.
actually no heat. Hold it like this. Hold it like this. Tell me if you
Put
feel
your
something.
finger here. I'm stroking
Keep
this,
holding
saying
it.
bend.
Keep holding
It's
it.
getting softer.
Ah, da unten ist es gerissen.
What is it? Hold it like this. Tell me if you feel anything. Not with power, with lightly.
Ja.
Yes, pressure. No pressure.
Can
I'm
he
sorry
bend
it takes
still?
so
Ah.
long, but it's
Are you suggesting, Lewis,
very
Yeah,
the
yeah.
whole thing is
Yeah, yeah.
that 9/11 was caused by Uri Geller rubbing the fucking
No, it's breaking.
trade centre? They just
Also, wenn jetzt
they just left him.
Kraft anwenden würde, würde es brechen.
They just
Aber
left him in
er
between
berührt es,
floors,
man spürt, dass es gar keine Kraft
rubbing the
dabei.
Do you
fucking.
feel that it's becoming more? Look, it's becoming like a
I like it.
plastic.
Ja.
There.
Amazing.
And no
We
heat.
just watched a man slowly break a ladle.
There is no heat. And look how thick it is.
I could have just got the ladle, gone,
Right
and
at
it would
the
have had the
rivet
same
spot
effect.
There, you'll notice. The question was, did he supply these spoons?
He is,
No,
yeah.
they were supplied by a physicist who showed up there to be an expert observer of this. And indeed, he was a little more expert than Geller gave him credit for, because I interviewed him after that, some years after that, and he said they would not allow me to say on the program that though I supplied all the spoons and such, I didn't supply that one particular aluminum label.
Oh, it's a coincidence,
that came
Randy.
from nowhere. I asked the prop man afterwards. He said he didn't know where it came from. And that was the one, remember, that Geller chose out of all of the cutlery they had there. And they had about 30, well, you can see them, but there are 30 pieces of cutlery all over.
Are you telling me he snuggled a ladle
and if you
into
look,
the set
we have
and
made
you didn't
stills
notice?
From this tape, which is rather high resolution.
Fucking
the original.
idiot.
This is a copy of it, of course. You actually see, when he first presents, you can see a crack right at that
Yeah, I bet you
rivet
see a
spot.
crack.
You know very well that's the spot where it's going to break. So. Now we're about to see Mr. Geller do, as this is what I promised you a while ago, which I thought was coming up on the screen. We're about to see him do the drawing with one person.
And this is
sitting
on
in front
Noel's
of him.
house party.
He believes that nobody is watching him.
Who remembers
Nobody
that
is
Noel's
watching him.
house party
So he is
Saturday
being
night?
drawn. You're going to catch this. It's very blatant, and you're going to have to ask yourself, how could he possibly always get away with this? One of the reasons he gets away with it is because, A, people are not critical of him. They believe that he's got the power, so they don't watch him that carefully. Second, he has 3 or 4 different methods of doing exactly this. So what you're about to see, as I say, is blatant. I mean, anyone watching this has just got to say, wow, how can he get away with that? But he does, and remember, you have to watch carefully the woman who's sitting.
It's like this one. What is the actual point of having this as a fact? He's like the shittest superhero ever.
Let's see that. This is from Noel's house party again.
Mr. Blobby was already kind of him.
And they called me a paranormalist.
They call you a paranormalist and a cunt.
No, what I do is real. It's not magic and it's not trick. You will see.
Yeah, mate. Wrestling ain't fake. It's predetermined.
I'm dying to see something. I'm waiting for you to do something.
Go on, Yuri. Rubber crack.
Look, don't, you know, it might not work.
Make her hot.
I want you to draw something that is very, very simple.
Okay, I'm going to draw a swastika. I'm going to draw your ancestors burning in Auschwitz. Is that? Can I draw that, Yuri?
Then turn your pad upside down, put your hand on it. Then I'll turn back to you. I'll open my eyes. And I want you to stare into my face. And
Stare into your face. Not anywhere specific, just in your face.
Visualize it in your mind. I'm not looking. Go ahead and draw something, but keep it very simple.
He's looking at her.
Tell me when you finish.
I'm a terrible drawer.
What I've drawn here, Yuri, is Joseph Mengele making a Yuri Geller human centipede.
Can I turn back now? Yeah. Is your hand on? Yeah. Okay, now, just give me the pen. Now. When you did draw something, you didn't leave it blank.
Mr. Blobby's a fucking icon, man. He's an institution.
Close your eyes, so you see, I close my eyes.
I close my eyes.
What I do is I visualize a TV screen in my mind, and into this screen, I have to see your drawing.
I just wanted to have drawn just a classic cock. Bollock, knob, bollock, dotted line, a few bits of hair, a dotted line emanating from the crown.
I got something. Now,
just write Yuri Geller is a pedo.
But if I'm wrong, then it's close to because I really got the image very, very strongly. Is it something like a little house?
Oh, I can't believe it.
Am I right? May I see it?
I can't believe it.
Yeah, there, exactly. I didn't get this. You didn't.
That was like the very last minute.
I didn't get it.
I mean, even with the smoke coming out.
I felt it very.
Yeah, smoke coming out your arse.
I can't believe it.
See, it's real.
Now, what you've seen him draw there, what she drew is what at least 9 out of 10 people draw when they're asked to make a drawing. They draw a house with smoke coming out of the chimney.
I don't.
9 out of 10. No exception to that. All around the world, people draw the simple house with smoke coming out of the chimney. But he didn't guess. He knew what it was.
Is that a hotel? I
Some
don't
of
know.
you caught him.
Who cares?
I could tell because at the moment of truth, there were some oohs and ahs and some giggles. How many caught him? Okay, very good. Oh, a number of people caught him. We're going to see it again. Remember what he says he's doing. He is covering his eyes and turning away. Now, why you would have to cover his eyes while turned away, one wonders. Now, the thing that you saw on a Nova program
Yeah,
years ago,
probably Peter Andre.
he was doing by a different method altogether.
There's no metal in the
using
jungle.
A mirror, a circular mirror in his hand, so that when he turned away, he was looking straight into the mirror and over his shoulder. That's why he covered his eyes while he turned away. Under these circumstances, you would think there'd be no reason. He's not going to use a mirror. He's going to use a totally different method. Let's see it again. Okay?
So what you should do is when you draw it, you should just go look up.
There it is. You see it? He turns away and immediately back again. Now, I am looking at this audience through my fingers. I'm seeing people all across here looking right through my fingers, but my eyes appear to be covered. That's what he is doing. I believe, from my position of expertise, he is peeking right down. He's looking straight down at what she's doing. And where is her attention? On the drawing. As he told her, keep your attention on the drawing, and then afterwards you're going to look me straight in the eye and picture it. That's all window dressing after that. But there's another significant thing in this cut. Play it through. He's looking straight towards her now. Now he's turned away. He's turned away at this position, but she's continuing to draw. So there's going to be something on there that he won't get.
Well done, freak.
Because he
Yes,
saw
this
what
is a
she
live
drew
stream.
to this point,
Good for you.
which is the house with the smoke coming out of the chimney.
Congratulations.
Okay, continue.
People we were talking about
Now
James
he is
Randi,
turned
and
away.
so I thought I'd put it.
Okay.
I don't know why Uncle Albert, I don't know why Uncle Albert for Only Fools and Horses ended up getting obsessed with Uri
This is all
Geller.
the window dressing.
I think this is what he was doing before he joined Only Fools and Horses. During the war.
No, he doesn't show her what he's drawing because he wants it to be a big surprise. This is the showmanship of it. She looks straight at him. She doesn't see what he's drawing.
I remember the day. I remember it was. I remember actually it was about. Was it 2012 when James Randi came out as gay? His name's James Randi for men's arseholes is his full name apparently.
This part is the part that she drew after he really did turn away, obviously. But that's how simple this is, folks. You simply peek through your fingers when she's not noticing what you're doing. It's that simple, and all
She just looked up and he's there going.
People perform are that simple when you get a chance to examine them. But you would never have.
All right, mate. Fancy coming out with your head on
because
upside
this
down.
would be done in the dressing room or in the makeup room or in the green room. It would be done someplace off camera with only that one.
Hi
person
ho!
sitting opposite you. I will quit.
There's one more. It's only a short one.
Watch carefully.
You can watch if you want to.
You can watch. You can watch if you want.
Look, you see it's beginning. Oh.
Just watch. It's beginning. Looking at.
See it's bending upwards. Just now. See it's curling upwards.
It's curling upwards, all right.
I didn't come to do a show here, but with my I'm doing it with my mind.
Is it hot?
No, it's totally cold. But, yes, of course. Look, it's still it continues for about 3 minutes. Yeah. You see, on television, people think it could be a trick, and I haven't kept, but it's not, and it's your spoon. Yes, indeed.
It's your spoon. Yeah, it is, you fucking arsehole. You're going to pay for that. Prick.
Sorry I interrupted your...
Now, did you catch him? Twice. You had 2 opportunities. 2 opportunities. Okay, roll it back. She's not going to miss the wine bottle. Now, do you see what's happening? He's doing the same thing he did with the key. Exactly the same thing. But now watch him carefully. Okay, continue. Don't stop it. Watch. There we are. That's it. Now, you cannot tell me, folks, that a man of his age needs to hold onto a spoon with both
I don't know, he's a
hands
scrawny
when he
bastard.
stands up and walks a couple of feet with it. I can carry a handful of spoons at my advanced age in one hand for perhaps half a mile. And I think he's probably capable of carrying one spoon in one hand, but he picks it in both hands and stands up. That's not...
Right. Okay, folks, I'm going to end it now. It's been lovely. I'm going to call it a day. But I will. I'll see you. I'll see you all later. And yeah, if you're not following on Patreon, there'll be stuff. There's going to be some special stuff uploaded there. So follow that. And other than that, keep it real.